So now we are going to see some of the examples how our tradition has preserved the important plants that will be very essential in each and every time of our life stages. So with all your permission, we can go through some of the examples of the plants that can be used for various types of problems. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Satguruve Namaha. Om Prabanja Shaktyaya Namaha. Dears, if you are seeing in society, the most important part is the woman care. The health of the woman decides the health of the family and same time the health of the society. So if you see the Indian culture, in every part of India, we have such a type of a rich tradition that will utilize the health and care of women, especially from the starting of the menarche. Once the lady is going to start its periods, what are the medicines has to be taken? What are the regimens has to be used? All are very detailedly practiced in our culture. So we can see that in each and every terrains of our India, there are different type of such practices. That is not meant for all the medicines or taking all these things. What the resources that are available in the local, that will be utilized for the particular time. As the morning madam has told now, there are plenty of foods are there, food utensils are there. But what the apt time, what the apt season, apt stage to take that particular thing is very important. Because our body is transforming through various types of physiological activities. So depending upon the physiological changes, what it is acting on our body, we have to use some of the things. Then only we will get the utmost result. So we can start with one of the important thing that will be used in our traditions in all over India is the tila. So morning our speakers has discussed about tila. But how to take tila? When to take tila? In what form we have to take? That is very important. So we all know that Karallu is one of the important things that will be having so much of nutritive value. It is having phosphorus, nitrogen, calcium, so like that so many things will be there. But if you look into the physical character feature of this tila, you can see that it is very viscous. Is it no? Yellow is very viscous, no? And it is very thick. And it is very difficult to digest also. In spite of its hot potency also, it is not easy to digest that one. And it is having a capacity to do a flowing nature, that is called as saraguna. It's a moving. So a hot thing which is having a moving property is present. So it should be taken along with something which can capable to digest this thing. And the same time, it is having a little bit of bitter also. It is not that much of sweet. So a little bit of bitterness is there, along with there will be a hot potency, and where there will be a flowing nature, all these are there. So we have to incorporate an ideal thing that can do the digestion and metabolism of that particular thing, and it has to be expelled out properly with a palatable form. That's why we have one of the very good formulation that is called as Chukkiratadi Churnam. Means we will take the chukku all you know, the dried ginger. So dried ginger powder will be one part. Then we will add the double quantity of palm jaggery, panangalkanda. So this also in a powder form. Then we have to take the 4-part tila, the black yellow, karallu. So karallu has to be grinded first. Then you have to add the dry ginger powder. Then afterwards you have to add the jaggery. Then you make it into a very good bolus like lemon type this. So this bolus is one of the important thing that has to be given to the time of the menarche age. So if you give a care to the girl on that time, it will helps the proper elimination of the menstrual flow. Same time, it will helps to protect the uterus and associated things, because when the new physiological activity is taking place, there are so much of bloods and so much of other things is going on. So much of nutrients are needed. So such type of a functional food is needed on that particular form. So that functional food has to be given in the proper form. That will be help in the digestion, and that will be helps for the expelling out of things with a Gouda-like thing. It has also containing so many micronutrients. So minerals and all the things are present. So it will be made into a bolus like a small lemon, and evening as in the tea time like that. If you take that one, then it will be helpful for the proper flow of these things. And it will be very good for the bones and the teeth. So even the males also can take. So this will be, the Yellunda will be a very good thing if you process it in this way. So nowadays what the Yellunda we are getting, it's only mixed with Guda, jaggery. So it is not that much good to digest and expel out. So this is one of the good formulation like that. So another thing, if you have, you see, in our traditions, we have so much of such types of practice. So this is a grandma from Vellore. So when we are doing the folklore studies, the grandma has shared so much of information.
In Siddha, this is for most 90% of pediatric conditions is Mandam.
So it's telling that this will be used, that Todalia asiatica, that leaves is used for mandam in children. It's astonishing that she is knowing about more than 60 locally available plants for various food. That much of tradition is there.
ஆமாம் நிறைய கீரை காட்டுக்கீரை எடுத்துன்னு வந்து வச்சு அது அப்போ அந்த காலத்து நான் எட்டாந்து கொடுங்க சமைக்கலான்னு சொல்லிக்கிறேன் இதெல்லாம் போட்டு சமைச்சு சாப்பிட்றாங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கெல்லாம்.
So this is the one thing I want to discuss. So this plant what it is showing is the kare, mullu kare. I think all of you know about Candium reedi. It's a botanical name. So this will be one of the important food in when the menstrual cycle is starting first. So how they will prepare means take the terminal leaves, not the matured leaves, terminal leaves. So this is also one of the important information that shared by that grandmother. When you are want to use any leaves, that leaves should be taken from the upper aspects, terminal end, because that is very good and it will not having that much of heaviness. So that leaves, if you have 500 grams, then you soak white rice 500 grams. So put these leaves on the 500 grams along with that and powder it, nicely powder it. Like puttu or dosha, like that flours, no? You can prepare it and then sieve it and just fry it, mild fry, and you can keep it. Whenever you need, you take it and again add this jaggery or the palm jaggery, then you can make into a layam like that you can take. This will able to correct the heatness of the body, pitta, we will call it as pitta. So this is a combination that will be able to provide the balance of pitta and the property of the rakta that will be forming on that particular time, because on that first trimester, the first periods as well. So we all know that amenorrhoeas, nowadays painful menstruation and painful menstruation associated symptoms are plenty because of the mood disorders. Why such mood disorders is occurring? Because again due to these types of derangement, Agni is deranged, our body heat will be occur, then it will provide the balance of the mind also. So for balancing this is one of the good leaf that we can use. So if you are giving only, there will be no need of continuously taking. 7 days is enough. On the menstrual times, we can take 7 days. Next month again 7 days. Like that, 3 months if you repeat it, that lady will not suffer with any type of menstrual problems. So this is one of the important thing we have to look. It's a very common plant. Everywhere it is available in India, we can utilize this one. And another use is this summertime. Some of the persons, those who are too stout now, they will develop small abscess. Every year they will develop abscess. This same preparation is very good for that, because that abscess is also occurring because of this heatness. So that's why these are the two, at least we have to include as a food in the form of a medicine, can be converted into a food and can be used is this two one. One we have to keep in mind is the tila, because nowadays you can see that this tila is very essential for children also. All of the children are suffering with various types of dental problems, and the enamels and the coatings will be powdering. The nails will be breaking. Why? It is so because we are not getting the proper nutrition that will be essential for our bones and teeth and hairs like that. So this is tila, and these two things will be very important in the first stage. So preparing a woman to becoming a mother is very important. So a preconceptional preparatory method was there in our traditions. So when she is becoming a mother, we have another regimens. So one that regimen is this one, a simple thing. You can see that tutti, it's a very common thing. We will call it as bella. The name itself is came why it is bella means it impart the bella to strength to your body. So from the first trimester of the pregnancy, we can advise this. Why it is so relevant means, if you see the statistics of pregnant related musculoskeletal disorders, especially lumbar related and osteoarthritis, 72% relevance is there in India. That's the data is telling. So after a pregnancy, a mother will suffer with back pain or knee arthritis like that. Why it's so happening? Because mother is not getting the proper nutritious things that is essential for the growth and support of the ligaments or the expansions of the pelvic girdle or all the fats and fascia like that. Because so many things that is essential for a children is absorbing from the mother's body. And if mother is not taking all these things, then it will be very bad. So we will give this one, Bela, Palkashaya. It's a Shirapaga. It's a milk decoction. Very simple we can use. So take the powder of that Bela root 12 grams, then milk 90 ml, then 360 ml of water, then reduced to 90 ml, that filter and can be given. If someone is unpalatable to that, it is not having a palatability problem. But if it is someone is unpalatable, you can add a little bit of jaggery or sugar candy to that and then can take it. So approximately on the morning 10 o'clock like that, if they take for the 9 months, the pregnancy will be very smooth and we can avoid so many types of musculoskeletal problems, and micronutrient supplement is also possible. Even for the animal husbandry, when the animals are getting pregnant and after the delivery also, this is one of the regimens followed by the village peoples. So we can see that some of the plant steroids are also present in this Bela, Sida cordifolia. So such a common plant that is available in every land, why can't we can utilize it? So this is one of the things. So it is an innovative thing. We can make it into a 12 gram small stackets like that, and you give powder it and give to the persons. Surely they will take. Unfortunately, what the problem is now means nobody knows about this plant. Nobody able to pluck it or process it in another form. So such type of innovations will come. Surely this will provide a lot of regulations in this. And one more thing is, it is helpful for preventing the abortions. So this is a drug which can constrict the things in the proper way, whatever the essential thing. Same time, it will provide the nutrition also. So this is one such plant we can give for the throughout the 9-month pregnancy. Then after that, when the baby is coming out, so we all know that no food we are not giving, only the breast milk is the food. On that also, before giving the breast milk, we have one custom. What's that? Vashambu Tenam. So usually if you see, Vayam Vaja Akaras Kalamas is a memory promoter. It is not like that. It is having so much of properties. So just now, Madam has given one important area, that is signaling. Signaling of our senses. This is the thing. So when a baby is coming out from the mother's womb to a new environment, 9 months it's on another environment. Then it is coming out to a new environment, all the sense organs has to be aroused. So that's why it is having a Sanskrit name as Bodhini. So if you 7 times, if you rub it with a little bit of honey and it is liquid, then all the sense organs will be opened up and that baby will start to respond to the surroundings. So the first signaling that is essential for a baby is the proper sense organ coordinations, response to the sense organs. So this is one of the things that will help in that way. And another thing is, if you give such type of a drug, whatever the mucus that will be accumulated in the nose, if you that touched in the mouth itself in a very minute thing, it will produce a specific type of sensory stimulus. These sensory stimulus will help the baby to overcome the future problems. Nowadays you can see that the babies, those who are grown from the in the Arabian countries or like that areas, they are sensitive to even turmeric. So many spices are allergic to them. Why? Because they are not exposed to such an interactions. So that's why nowadays we can see that plenty of irritable bowel syndromes are there. So we are living in a world where there will be a globalization of food and unwanted so many chemicals are putting in our body. So response is needed. If some such type of a response is created in our gut system, then surely that will be a memorized things will be there in the brain. So preparing a baby to overcome whatever the problems that is creating in the future is very important. That's why these types of concept is also very good for the baby care. Next, as a food, we are converting into a medicine also. So when mother is feeding the child, nowadays you can see that when a delivery is occurred and in the first trimester, all the relatives will come with so much of fruits or so much of other bakery items, especially the bakery items. All are with the saturated fats and oils and all these mixed together. And what the mother will take this, and what will happen? These things will reflect it in the breast milk. So the breast milk become very heavy and it will be very difficult to digest by the babies. So babies always have an abdominal destruction and various types of abdominal problems. So purifying the breast milk and making the breast milk in a good form, it's very light form. One of the very good thing is this korekkilangu. It's a very common ground nut grass that is seen in everywhere. So if you see that roots also, they have having small glandular like structures, and again it is running. It's similar to that of a lymphatic system. So this is a one drug which is exactly acting on the lymphatic system. So just make a paste and apply on the breast area, leave it for 45 minutes, then wash it. This itself will helps to reduce the heaviness and the impurities that is present in the milk. If it is possible, it is consumed internally in the form of like this takram also, musta takram like that, preparation of a buttermilk. It's a very good. It's very good for digestion. It's very good for the irritable bowel syndromes. It's very good for the acidities, various types. So it's a very easy process. Musta takram, how it will be, we have to take the musta, number 200 number we can take it, small globule like no, that has to be 200 number, you have to take it and crush it and put it in the milk. There will be 750 ml, then water 2 liter and 250 ml, then reduced it to the milk level, then it turn into a curds. You prepare the curd and then after that there will be takra has to be prepared, the buttermilk, then filter it. That buttermilk itself will help to in the various abdominal related problem, especially in the children's. We will call it as a grahani like condition. Grahani means whatever the things if you take, suddenly we will develop that there will be an indigestion and if you want to go to this latrines. So there will be a important factor that is happening is deficiency of micronutrients. Always they will develop mouth ulcers and various types of micronutrients will be happening. So this Cyprus rotundus tubers are having such a good quality that can be used for these types of simply converting into a takra like that and we can use it. Like that we have so many things that will support the digestions. And one of the excellent thing that will call it as an universal medicine is the ginger. Already we are discussed. So ginger in the fresh form and the ginger in the dry form is very good for our digestions. Especially when you are taking any non-vegetarian food, what we will do? We will add Kashmiri mirchi or other mirchis that is available now. If you look into our traditions or 50 years back, you ask your grandmother or what is the karam, kadurasa, pungent taste that used to buy them. It's pepper or ginger. Because what's the property of this? It will help in the digestion and metabolism and the same time excretions. So at the end of the excretion, it's a very important part. If you take a chicken or something like that, at the end of the digestion, it is too laku, means it's very light, then it will produce constipation. That will result in piles and fistula. That's why nowadays you can see that plenty of persons are suffering with such type of thing. So at the end of the digestion, it's very important that the material what you are giving should be processed in the proper and it should be ended in a bulky form that will be easily expelled out in that. So this pepper usage and this ginger usages will help a lot for digestion and metabolism like that. So many chemical compounds, you know that gingerol like that will help in the various digestion. And one more thing. Nowadays, if you scan a liver, USG abdomen, most of them are having fatty liver, first grade or second grade. Like why it is so happened? Because we are not adding a very good digestive things that will help in the metabolism and separations. So if you want such things, you have to add these things in the food. So that whatever the saturated or unsaturated things what you are taking should be digested properly and should be separated very nicely. So we are talking so much about turmeric. Turmeric is one of the important things that is invented by our Acharyas that is having a bitter taste. So anybody will take bitter taste? We are not liking that. But our tradition has invented a bitter taste should be in an ideal form. That is the turmeric. So unfortunately now the usage of turmeric is also less. So this ginger, pepper and turmeric are unavoidable things in our ethics because we are living in a place where there will be a tropical country, there will be a fluctuation of the climatics and the seasons are very high. So we will susceptible for various types of problems. So food should be in a good form like that. Not only internally, turmeric is having a great role externally also. That's why in our customs we are using turmeric for body wash and all these things, especially in the special time occasions. Another thing is, when we are going through the mid-age, in the 30s and 40s itself, most of people will complaining that they are developing memory loss. And another thing is various types of skin problems and various types of ulcers. So Vallare is one of the best drug for various types of skin problems and the ulcers. If you see the WHO manual, WHO has published one medicinal plan manual. On that, Centella asiatica is a drug that is mentioned for all types of ulcers from the oral cavity to the anal region. So it's a very simple drug, you feel, but it is having a very important role in the skin and the nerve endings, because it has having a capacity to regenerate the nerve endings and the skin. So Vallare Suppu is one of the important thing. Nowadays in Tamil Nadu, I think it is very common, Vallare Suppu. It is very good for the digestive purpose, and same time it can increase the memory also. So only thing is, when you are collecting this Vallare, it should be in a good place. Because nowadays this Vallare is growing on some of the polluted areas. Don't take from these polluted areas. It's always better is you create it in your home garden itself. Even in the flats also, by a small tray you can grow it. It's very fastly it will grow. And it's not needed that much of water also. So that Vallare, if you take it and use, then it will be a very good thing. And simply we can use it. You just cut it, dry it in the sunshade, then powder it, and that powder can be added into any soup. That like that morning we are discussing about rice gruels. So rice gruel water, you can add it with a little bit of water, then again boil it. It will become a thick soup, like soup powder is what we are brought now. So such a soup powder we can prepare. So instant that you can add it to that and prepare a soup and can give. So this will be good for the children and same for the young age peoples, especially those who are doing so much of strenuous work regarding the ITs and all these things. So why it is so important means it will relish your memory also, and it will helps in improving the voice. It's a very good for the voice also. So those who are loudly speaking, those who are practicing dance or any musical arts, we can prescribe this as one of the unavoidable diet in them. So that's the specialty of this. And you can use it in the form of chutney also, along with ghee. Small pieces and crush it in the mixie, and then little bit of ghee is added, and that can be also given. Or along with milk also, those who are good for taking milk, along with milk also is possible. Another thing is some of the peoples are very crazy in the taking of amla rasa, means sour taste, because their body needs such type of a craving. So these types of craving indicate that your body wants such type of a nutrition. So on that time, what we will do? We will take some amla rasa pradhanas, dravyas, sour things that is coming in the bottles that are processed with synthetic things. That's sometimes we are very crazy to take these colas and all these things. Why? Because our body needs such type of a thing, and that taste will be is there in that one. But the nutritional value is not at all there, and it will be continuously taking is also harmful. So such a type of sour is this one. This is a puliyarilai. So it's a very delicious leaf. You can use this as a chutney also, along with the moru, takra, buttermilk. It is one of the excellent that can keep the middle part of your intestine, especially on the umbilicus. On the surrounding of the umbilicus, whatever the gastric and all these problems occur, this is one of the very good thing that we can use. So these two leafy vegetables are very good for our abdominal and gastric things. So another important area is our respiratory system. So we all are talking about so much of foods now. Same time, we have to take care of some drinking water also, pana. So medicated water, how we can use some medicated water? So one of the medicated water is this one. So when you are taking this, only thing you have to remember is this is a little bit of hot medicine. So it should be processed in the proper way. At least 90 ml of water, 5 or 7 leaves is enough. More than that leaves is not enough. So that also simply put it in that and keep it for 3 hours, and that drink you that water. Daily intake of that water itself helps to remove the soothing and all these things. So this is one of the important thing why tulasi is present in your house. Because in front of the house this will be there, then that can get rid of so many respiratory related problems. Whenever there will be an emergency occurring on the throat and the nasal cavities, we can use this. So during the corona and after the corona period, you can see that plenty of respiratory problems are arising. So we can use such type of medicative things that will be good for that, and tulasi is one of the important thing. Another is Coleus aromaticus. Coleus aromaticus. This leaves also having a very good role in, especially in the throat problem, pharyngitis, adenoids. On such conditions, we can use this one. Like that, piper longum. Piper longum is also one of the important thing that can be added to some of the adjuvant foods also, like pepper. Not in a continuous use, for the particular time. So piper longum we can take along with honey. Just keep these piper longum fruits for 12 hours in the honey, and the early morning take one piper longum. That also helps to remove the respiratory problem, especially those who are chronically suffer with any respiratory problem. Take 14 days to 21 days, you can see the result. Early morning you have to take, without taking any food. Early morning you consume one piper longum, that will be immigrated in the honey. This I think everybody know, in most of the houses it is there, Thuduvilai. So the rasam what we are preparing, you can use this Thuduvilai. This also Solanum trilobatum. This also one of the good thing for preventing the respiratory problems. Especially during the COVID time, this was utilized so much by the Vaidyas. So this can helps to prevent and strengthen the respiratory system, especially throat and the lungs. You can use the flower, you can use the leaves also. As a garden plant also we can grow, because it will look like a climber, and always there will be a fleshy leaves will be there and beautiful flowers will be there. Another, liver protection. Liver protection is also important thing. So there one of the important good drug that we can advise as a food is this Karsalanganni. Bringaraj, we will call it as Bringaraj, and it is Eclipta alba or Eclipta prostata. An easy preparation is there, a milk preparation. Take a vessel, iron vessel. On the night you have to paste these plants on that iron vessel. Then morning it will be dried. So on that vessel you can pour the milk and boil the milk. Then filtrate that milk. That milk will be drinking is very good for the liver. So nowadays you can see that all of them are complaining that they have dandruffs, they have hair falls. Therefore early this hair whitening, all these things. Why? Because the heat is generating in the liver and it is creating the problems. So taking these things the proper times on the middle age will helps to remove these things. And it can be taken again as a chutney also. Simply you can mash it and take it. One thing we have to keep in mind means, when you take these things, leafy vegetables, should avoid non-vegetarian food. Don't mix non-vegetarian food along with these leafy vegetables, because it will become an incompatibility. That should be avoided. And when you come to the circulations, this is one of the good drug that can be used for the circulations. Here also, the terminal leaves, if you take the mature leaves, it is too bitter. Sendil kodi, amrda. So this terminal leaves, if you take, it will be not having that much of bitterness. It is little bit of sweet also, and it is having a honey-like consistency if you macerated it. So that will be make into a chutney, or make along with a little bit of ghee. You can make it as a frying, and then we can use it. This will helps in the circulations. So in the micro circulation levels, if some clots or something will be there, or the chances of a platelet aggregations like things, pharmacological studies showing that it can remove that such type of platelet aggregations. So the Stenospora cordifolia is also one of the important thing. And another is, nowadays we need, one of the important is nutrients to the eyes, because we are excessively utilizing our eyes is one of the important part. Screen looking is a very high in our, so that unwanted so much of light is going on and creating, not only for the eyes, along our brains also. So some of the nutrients that will be essential for eyes protection is needed. So these are the flowers, very good for that. You can use in various forms. Muringapu chutney you can know, Muringapu thoran you can know. So like that, Agastya pushpa also. And the same time consuming the gooseberry. So the consuming of the gooseberry in the small quantity, not like what it is selling in the name of the gooseberry juices. That is not gooseberry and some capsicum these juices. That is not good in our daily usages, because Ayurveda is not telling about that, because it is too hot in nature. It will create more pitta in your body. So taking such type of things are negative. That's why when a food processing is occurring, we have to take some of the support of those who are well exposed in the traditional practices or in that, because so many incompatibilities and so many overdosages may lead to so many problems. So if you consume such type of a capsicum mixed these types of juices for 5 or 6 days, you can see that your motions become very hard, or sometimes you will feel a burning sensation when you are defecate, because it's creating a hotness in your body. So such type of practice also, if something is good, nowadays what the thing is going on means something is good, someone is telling in this YouTube or something, directly following and consuming all these things and land up with some problems, and will tell that all the things are due to because of Ayurveda or some traditional practice. So should we have to use our wisdom for demarcating whatever the things when it has to be taken. Another important thing is, we can see that when we are coming to the last stages of the life in the Vruddhavastha, geriatric care, so many problems related to the dementias and nerve related problems is occurring. One of the great medicine that find out by the Siddhas of here in the South India is this one, Nishanku, Mulshangar, Asima Tatrakanta. This is one of the good drug that can produce the strengthen the nerves of our body. 3 minutes. So strengthen the bodies. So in the demyelination, this is one of the very good thing. You can take the leaves, same as we are prepared now, that raw rice along with the leaves equal quantity, powder it, and we can take it as a halwa or like that we can use it. So processing of the flour is very good. Like that, taking of the constipation is one of the important problem that in the last trimesters of our life that can be get rid out by simply by 5 to 10 ml of this castor oil with the milk, like that. So we have so many such type of things. You may heard about this. This is a practice in Kollimala of the soup, a vegetable soups. So how beautifully they are using this vegetable soup. So this is a fern, Draineria corsifolia. In Ayurveda we will call it as Ashwagatri. In Tamil it is a Mudavatungal, like that. So that soup will be very delicious. So if you have the powder, it is very easy to pour that into the hot water and make it a little heat, and jeeraga or cumin seeds like that added. And if this will be helps in the joint strength, especially in the knee joints and like that. So like that, plenty of these things are there. Along with this wellness of these medicines, one thing we have to keep in mind is the prasanna atma indriya, wellness of our mind also. So if the wellness of the mind also is needed, then what we have to expose? We have to expose ourselves to the natures. So interacting with the nature in the ideal form is also an essential thing along with the food. That's why the great Agastya Muni has told that Parappa Tegathil Mannumundu, Jalamundu, Agashamundu, Vayuundu. So in your body, you have so many types of physical qualities that can be correlated to Mannu, Agasham and all these things. Then Chirappa Agasha Vayundu, Chittiyulla Arudalam Veedumundu. In your body, you have 6 storage house which is having very purity. That is the 6 chakras in your body. Nerappa Patram Mudamundu. In your body, you have 3 ecosystems. One ecosystem with a dry area, that is the lower area. A middle area, you have another drymost area that will be having a heat ecosystem, and the upper part, you have another ecosystem that is having a moisture area. So that 3 ecosystem has having their own specificity. That's why if you see the recent documentation of the gut microbes, the microbes that are seeing in the upper part can't be seen in the downwards. So there are different areas identified by our acharyas in another means. And they found that which area is good for which purposes. Then, Nikadipetta Aram Kulavumundu. In your body you have the famous rivers and famous ponds. Then Verodu Vrikshamundu. In your body, you have so much of big trees and rooting systems are there. Then, if someone want to illuminate this, you can illuminate through various ways of the activities. So, food taking with will take care of your body constituents like these Panchamahabhutas, along with your enlightenment through the spiritual pathway is creating the wellness. Not only the food can create a wellness, not only a spiritual pathway can create the wellness, the balancing of both the things will create a good wellness. So that's the things. So there are plenty of foods and all these things that wisdomly, wisely using a particular thing in a particular time, in a particular form will helps to yield the result. That is the siddhi that told by our acharyas. So thanking all of you for giving such time. I took little bit of time. Thanking especially Madam, Nandini Madams and Jaikar Sir and Nasya and all other persons, those who are worked. I think you are worked out so much, and always they are calling for where you are, sir, and all these. So thanking for the hospitality and everything, and especially inviting me for a short lecture on that thing. Thank you. Yes, Madam. A little bit roast, madam. Little bit roast. Not too much. Little bit. Mild roasting. Yes. That black variety is the good one, Karalu.